Okay, everyone, we're going to get the meeting started. The official time is 6:30. Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 Public Laws of 1975 entitled Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect as well as posting notices in Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Maryville School, Elon Bingham School, Grace Downing School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call vote. Mr. Dare?
Here.
Ms. B is unable to make it. Ms. Davidson?
Here.
Ms. Farrell?
Here.
Mr. Lego? Here. Ms. O'Brien?
Here.
Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Sams?
Here.
Ms. Spalding was unable to make it this evening. Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent, Sean McCarron, Business Administrator, Director of Curriculum, Jay Diazzi, Principal of Bingham Downing School, Steve Peely, Principal of Vols, Steve Maloney, Vice Principal of Vols, Gladys Hubbard, Director of Special Ed, and Frank Hines, Supervisor of Buildings and Grounds. At this time, can I get a motion and a second for approval of the November 20th regular meeting minutes?
I'll second it.
Motion made by Maria Panzarella, seconded by Dennis Lego. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next up, I am passing over to Mr. Iannucci.
All right, we have a little presentation tonight for some recognition to some board members who are serving their last meeting this evening. So we have them a little something for their time in service. First, I'm going to ask Ms. Heather Farrell to stand up, please. Ms. Farrell is your third year on the board. We appreciate you came as an audience member from right before you got on there with some very good, valid concerns. We were excited to have you on the board because you brought a different view, and it was awesome to work with you for those 3 years. We do appreciate your time and your service. So in recognition of your dedicated service to the students and staff of the Runnemede School District, we appreciate you. Stand for a picture.
Can we go here?
Right here. Where do you go? Here? Slide over?
Yes, slide over. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anything to say?
Would you like to say anything?
I'm just grateful. I'm thankful everybody accepted me. I know I came in a little with big personality and big opinions, and I know nobody was sure, I'm sure, how to receive me when I came in. And everybody was fantastic, and everybody's just been wonderful, and I'm grateful to have had the experience. I'm going to cry if I talk too much. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of you. It's been great getting to know every one of you, I know. So thank you.
Well, thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, Patty Adair.
Oh.
I've had the opportunity to know Patty for
A long time.
20-something years now. Had both her sons, either in the capacity of a teacher or vice principal or principal. Patty's always been very supportive of the community. Does a lot of things outside of school things with the women's club and the green team and everything else. But she'll continue to do that. How many years on the board now?
12.
So she's been a great addition to the board over these years. We're always supportive of the schools and everything, and always brings feedback if things aren't going so well as well, and which we always do appreciate that as well. So we appreciate your service, and again, recognition and dedicated service to the students and staff of Runnemede. So thank you. Take another picture. Hopefully she can crop me and make it look good. Like to share anything?
Yes, I would like to thank the town, people of the town who voted for me for the last 12 years, and the board and everybody that is on the board. It's been a wonderful 12 years. I've learned a lot. I've got to meet a lot of neat people, and I'll miss everybody. Thank you.
We'll miss you too. All right.
At this time, no correspondence this evening. At this time, we have public comments on agenda items only. The public is reminded that they should attempt to resolve problems and or complaints through initial contact with the staff member or members involved therein and the chief school administrator. Prior to petitioning the Board of Education, complaints should only be brought to the board after the appropriate school staff to set a reasonable opportunity to resolve the problem at the employee level. Statements should be limited to topics to be addressed in the published agenda and limited in length to 3 minutes. The board vice president will recognize those individuals in the audience who wish to comment on any action items on this agenda. Please respect the following procedures. Be recognized by the board president. State your full name and address, identify resolution or item number on which you wish to comment. Wait to be recognized before you make your comments, and limit your comments to the specific resolution or item. Limit your comments to 3 minutes per person. Do we have anyone in the public for comments on agenda items?
They used to flip the egg timer, it's up to
The egg timer.
That's we have home ec. We don't have home ec.
We have iPhones now.
They
We
did.
just have a timer.
Naomi, do you remember that?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Seeing
Frank,
no
find the
It
comments.
was before your time.
Seeing no comments at this time, we're going to move on to the
All right,
superintendent's
thank you,
report.
Dr. Karen. School district enrollment's health study has since the beginning of school year. I want to thank the building administration for conducting our mandated fire drills and security drills. We do send out that notification to parents when there's certain drills take place. Whenever they ask you, we do have to send out a message if we do an evacuation drill or a lockdown or something like that. And they're reported to you each month, usually the following month, we get them for approval. As Mr. Leg and I were discussing some inclement weather, he asked if we're getting the plows ready. Well, Frank, with that smile on his face, Frank wants to know. Just to remind you, maintenance has inspected everything as far as our removal equipment and everything to get that ready in case we need it. So on those days where you do make that decision to close school or to have a delayed opening, we always take the priority of not only the students but our staff as well. We have several staff members travel, half hour, 45 minutes to an hour away. We try to make that decision as early as we can. We usually monitor the weather. The problem is the more bells and whistles some of these stations have with their radars and everything else, sometimes they never know. So we're usually up throughout the night, kind of just checking on roads and things like that. And we're also communicating with the borough to make sure everything is safe for them. We do have multiple trucks that we have that do all 3 of our buildings. And some other parts of the town as well, Frank, I know, that we help out with when we can. And we also collaborate with Black Horse Pike as well as other districts as well to make sure that, we're communicating so we know what they're doing as well. I'd like to make those announcements by like 5:30 in the morning. I like to make them the night before if I can. I know everybody kind of does appreciate that. We tell parents as well. It's nice to know if you need child care arrangements or something like that. So that's where we're going to keep you at. With that being said, we only have 2 more days left in this week, so I don't think they have any snow this week. Like I said that, we're probably just snow, but that's when we'll keep you posted on that. We don't post on like the news stations anymore. We do a blast out to the parents on the phone, a voicemail, and we post everything to Facebook and the school district website. So we don't do if you're old like me, waited up 598 or whatever it was, as they read those numbers off on KYW, which I'm not even sure is this anymore. We don't post anything to the local, news station anymore. Mid-year budget review takes place on January 14th, so we have a couple more weeks till that takes place. That'll be kind of part of our QSAC as well. But the budget review, we do that every year. I'll give you an update, or Dr. Carroll will give you an update once we have that, probably the February meeting, because it takes place before the review. Holiday performance last week. I know Mr. Cooley said that attendance and the feedback from parents was well received last week at the concert. Actually, 2 weeks ago at the concert. I want to thank Triton for housing us over there. It's always nice to have it over there since they have a lot more space to accommodate our families. Also, our holiday committees, busy getting gifts out and meals out. Thank you all the families and staff for contributing to those things. Thank any board members if you contributed as well. It's always appreciative. Extracurriculars, winter sports teams are on their way. Girls basketball, boys basketball, cheerleading. Try to give you some updates and get you some records as they come in. Sometimes they don't give us league records and everything like that, Mr. Maloney, but we'll try to get that stuff in as well. Also, we have clubs going on that are contributing to the community through different service projects. If you check our Facebook page, we're always kind of posting stuff like that, so we appreciate that. A lot of good stuff going on for that. And our next meeting will be Monday, January 6th, 6:30, correct, Dr. McCarron? We'll be swearing in some new members. We invite our new members, your families would like to come, be a part of that. Let us know, and we'll get a special seating and everything else. So that's all I have for you. Wish everyone a happy holiday season, and we will see you in 2025. Any questions?
Get special seating for reading. Noted. Frank, you hear that?
It's so
Special
quiet,
seating.
we heard you say that, Maria.
What's that?
Gotta write
So
that
quiet,
down.
we heard you say that.
No, that meeting,
Ah.
reorg, because no one's here.
Okay, so for the BIN curriculum report, as Mr. Anucci said, we had to submit all of our documents to the county office for our mid-year budget review. That's an annual review that we do with the county office. It's kind of interesting because when we do those reviews, they don't have answers to what's happening in the upcoming school year, but they'll ask us questions in terms of like, how do you think you're going to address the following things? And I'm like, well, it's kind of like predict what's going to happen in the future type of situation. To give you an update, I was told today, we had a county meeting today, that with our title grants, which is like Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV, that we should be expecting to budget for a 25% reduction, which would be budgeting at 75% of what we received federally last year. For our IDEA grant, they told us to budget at 85%, and they felt somewhat safe with that. We always budget at 85%. Never been told to budget at 75%, but we always get that money back. Usually it ends up being flat. It's just something that always happens. They're telling us to make sure that we are ready for completely, possibly not getting that funding. In terms of state aid, last year we had a bunch of other issues we were dealing with as a district, but that was resolved. And they, the big statement was that, they funded the formula completely. This year they're saying, we're being told that to expect it to be completely flat. So let's hope that it is just completely flat and we don't see any further losses on that end. As you know, there aren't any major grants at this moment like there were during COVID when we had ARP, ESSER. We had 3 different sets of grants. All of those expired as of this past September 30th. So that funding is no longer there as it was. So we're just keeping that all in mind as we go into the budget season and the budget year. I try not to do too many predictions because here's the thing, if we lose money, so does every other district around us. So we're going to we'll cross those bridges as we get to them. But at this point, I'm not trying to set any alarm at this moment. Preparing for the budget, as I just discussed. Also, we started getting quotes already for the 25-26 school year, so that way we can prepare in terms of what those numbers are going to look like for different programs that we currently use. Next year also we had to submit to the state how many preschool classrooms we're expecting to have. At this point we will continue having 8 preschool classrooms. A big piece of that is due to space. When we were going up to 9 classrooms, that's when we were going to be using Kitty Academy. As you remember, when we tried to use Kitty Academy, the lease fell through that they were going to be using. Therefore we had to move that. We were lucky that we were able to move that onto site, which is why we're at 8 classrooms currently. This past month we did host Camden County Ed Services Commission, the Early Childhood Consortium. We were here at Bowles. We got to tour the 7 preschool classrooms, show the sensory room, show the courtyard and different playgrounds that we have on the facility. Everyone was extremely impressed. Food service, Ruby did an excellent job at pulling together a nice little spread. We had about 40 visitors total that came in, and they were from different school districts throughout the county for a preschool education program that is hosted monthly at different areas. And then also we're getting into state assessment, so all information had to be submitted to the state for upcoming NJSLA testing. That will be, usually it's in May, that we will be having that, and more information on that will be going out as we start up the new year. And that's all I have. Any questions on district reports or any of the other reports?
Can I just ask real quick? Ms.
Yeah.
Yazzie, would you like to explain your project?
Sure, I'll try.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So every year the kids make ornaments at Bingham and Downing, and over the last couple of years we've used a laser engraver machine that we have. So the kids design them during STEAM class, and then Mr. Michelle uses recycled Amazon boxes, old cardboard boxes, puts it through the machine, creates the ornament. So it's kind of upcycling, so if you're kind of using old material and make it better. And then those ornaments get pushed to Mrs. Monaco, the art teacher, and then they get to paint and decorate them in art class. And then Barksdale provides us with a little sticker with their school picture on it and their name and their year and all that kind of stuff.
Then we decorate the trees in the schools, and then every kid brings home an ornament, well, either tomorrow or Friday, so that they have them before winter break. So it's just nice to see, like, the teachers collaborating, use of the machine. It's just kind of like an innovative way. I mean, we've come a long way since Velcroing things together and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're awesome, and the teachers and the students do a great job with it. So I asked Miss Monaco if we could make a few extras so I could pass them on to you to see.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
they're really cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And upcycle, I like it. Upcycle.
Any other questions on any of the reports? Okay, seeing none, we'll go into new business. Under property and transportation, I need a motion and a second for items 1 and 2.
I'll make a motion for items 1 and 2.
Second?
Motion made by Maria, second by Naomi. Any questions? Roll call vote. Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien? Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, under personnel, I need I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 8, and you'll see that we did add on a resignation for the assistant baseball coach.
I'll make a motion to approve items 1 through 8.
Second?
Motion made by Barb, seconded by Naomi. Any questions? Roll call vote. Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella? Ms.
Yes.
Sams?
Yes.
Motion passes. Under finance, I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 6.
Make a motion for finance items 1 through 6.
Second?
Motion made by Dennis, seconded by Lisa.
Yes.
Any questions? Roll call vote. Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Motion passes. Under curriculum, I need a motion and a second for items 1 and 2.
I'll make a motion for items 1 and 2.
I'll second.
Motion made by Maria, seconded by Patty. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson? Ms.
Yes.
Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Motion passes. Under policy and public relations, I need a motion and a second for items 1 through 4.
I'll make that motion on the policy and public relations items 1 through 4.
I'll second.
Motion made by Dennis, second by Barb. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call vote. Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Motion passes. At this time, we're going to recognition of citizens and staff on non-agenda items. Public is reminded that they should attempt to resolve all problems in their complaints through initial contact with the staff member or members involved therein and the chief school administrator prior to petitioning the Board of Education. Complaints should only be brought to the board after the appropriate staff members had a reasonable opportunity to resolve the problem at the employee level. Statements should be limited in length to 3 minutes. The public is reminded that all public complaints against a district employee must be made through a specific grievance process. A description of this process may be found in Board of Ed policy. The policy is available upon request in the office of the board secretary. Any individual naming an employee in a complaint before the Board of Education without the employee's permission could be cited for violating the employee's civil and contractual rights. Do we have any public comments on non-agenda items?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Tolbert. I have a daughter in Gulf and a daughter in Bingham. It's not really a complaint, but I do need to bring this to the attention of the board. I did speak with Mr. Iannucci about this as well. My daughter has an IEP, and her case manager has 40 kids. Her case manager last year had 60 kids. So therefore, the testing that she should have had done in September has fallen through because there's too many kids that one case manager has to deal with. They came back with a plan after they'd done the testing, gave me the results. They brought me in and gave me back the plan. The plan that they gave me was going to completely not work with my daughter's social, emotional growth and development. And my biggest concern is, you know, if there's other kids like my daughter who are offered the same result for what they're going to do and they don't have a parent that's available to be an advocate, what are we doing with those kids? Those kids are now being thrown into these areas because they're just moving through these kids so quickly because there's too many of them. As any of you know, being a teacher in a classroom, you can't have 40 kids that you're responsible for because that's just ridiculous, and nobody can actually figure out what each of those children really need. I have 36 employees and I have 2 subordinates that take care of a lot of them, because even as grown-ups, I can't actually tell you what each one of them needs to succeed well in their job. And I think that's one person, one case manager, having 40 kids is ridiculous. And in a school that is now, 4th through 8th grade, simply because these kids are now developing emotionally and, puberty, things like that. There's a lot more that's going into it than just, my 6-year-old, whether or not she can read or write and do math. And I didn't know this information. I am new to this whole process. This is my first kid. I don't know anything really about IEP, so I trusted a lot in the school. And at the end of last year, finding out that her case manager had 60 students, and I sent emails with 3 sentences, and the response that I got was, it was pulled out of thin air somewhere. It had nothing to do with the 3 sentences that I said. And at this point, looking back, she had 60 kids. So you have 60 kids, and you're trying to respond to all these parents, and all of the reevaluations are generally around the same time, and you have all these kids starting in the school with these teachers, and they really need to be a little bit more condensed, even if, one case manager had 30 kids. The woman that was brought on, Miss Moore, she's extremely intelligent, she's so kind, she is patient, she deals with me, which is not easy, and she's very nice to talk with, and she's helpful, but she has too many kids. She has 40 kids, and that to me just doesn't seem like that should be the norm for anybody who's dealing with kids who need additional things to succeed academically. That's it for that. I also want to thank Mr. Maloney, because I did reach out to him and ask what we can do with 4th graders to get them involved within the school, and he came back with all these ideas, and he was great, and he got some new clubs opened up for the 4th grade, and that was awesome. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And like I said yesterday when I spoke with you, I'll be reaching out to you in the near future. So,
Thank you.
We'll chat, but I appreciate your feedback.
Any other comments on non-agenda items? As Mr. Iannucci said, our next Board of Education meeting for January will be our reorganization meeting, so it's on a different date. Will be on Monday, January 6th at 6:30. And it will be located here. Do I have a motion?
Real quick, if there's any conflicts, if you look at your calendar, I know I don't know how people work, if they work a month at a time or 6 months at a time, when it comes to for the 2025 meeting dates, please let us know if there's any issues you're going to have. The only thing we usually change our 3rd Wednesday is the April for the budget, so sorry.
So we've always had them usually on the 3rd Wednesday, so as of right now, the only times that would be changed, just so you're aware, would be April, because of the public budget hearing, which has to be done between April 25th and May 7th annually. So that would be April 30th. And that's also because that's the week after spring break. The other one, June, to think about, because the last day of school at this moment is the 19th. The date of the board meeting should be the 18th, so usually we move that up a week to the 11th. And then other than that, everything else for the 3rd Wednesday seems to work out fine. And the New Jersey School Boards Association workshop next year is October 20th through the 23rd. I think that's all I have. I have a calendar here if you did want to see it though.
I'll set it out to you on Friday. See you.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Mr. Dare. Do I have a second? Second by Barb Sams. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Have a good evening, everyone. Have a good holiday.